Hey, welcome to the next episode of the Just Two Dudes podcast. Today we're actually going to be focusing on... Wow. We're going to be focusing on something that's pretty important to Ryan and I both. And we're just going to do an episode on music, just talking about some of our favorite albums, maybe what our albums of 2018 were, what our favorite albums of 2019 are so far. And Ryan's a nerd and uses YouTube. I use Spotify and Bandcamp. If you ever want to find good underground music, Bandcamp's a great way to do that. They don't have just heavy metal, which is mainly what I look for, but have all types of music. So shout out to Bandcamp. Please endorse us. I love your website. So so Ryan, let me go ahead and ask you. We'll go ahead and just unveil like a pretty, I don't know, exposing question. What was your favorite album of 2018? What would you say?
I'd have to say KOD.
By J. Cole?
Yep.
That's a pretty good album. I'd have to say, well, okay, what's your favorite song on that album? Oh, okay, word.
Hold on.
You okay?
Yeah. Dude, it's been a while. Like, that was literally like a year and a half ago at this point.
Also, while he's looking that up real quick, just to let you know, guys, we are using new mics, so the quality's sounding better, but we do not have an automatic program that alternates between the mics for us. So if you hear any random clicking, it's us switching between the mics so that you can better hear us when we talk, and that was me farting. I apologize. Oops. But yeah, so hopefully these mics work pretty well. I just want to say a quick shout out to Ryan's sister and Ryan's mom. If y'all listen to this podcast, we really appreciate it. The mics are really nice. So yeah, but anyway, so talking, I will say this as far as the KOD album by J. Cole goes. My favorite song off that was Motivate. Motivate to me was a fantastic song.
I like Motivate. It's definitely one of my top ones. I think I'd settle between KOD, ATM, or Kevin's Heart. Kevin's Heart was really deep, man. I don't know, it gave you another perspective, and I didn't necessarily like the perspective, but I always love seeing other sides,
That's fair. I guess you can't argue with that.
But yeah, I don't know. When it comes to that, it's like, dude, cheating on your wife's not good. I get that you're a man. I get that everyone has issues, but that's an issue that like most people shouldn't. I don't know. Maybe it's most people deal with it, and I'm just like thinking they don't. But I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I think when it comes to stuff like that, like, I'm sure it's possible when you're married, or even, I mean, I'm currently in a relationship and stuff, but it's okay to find like other people attractive. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. I think what Cole did is he took it a step further, and like into that realm of maybe a sexual or like just like a dating relationship, something more than just a physical attraction. Because I think physical attraction in and of itself, you're going to meet plenty of people out this life. You see some people that just look good. And but again, his was more like an emotional and sexual thing. So I'm strongly against cheating in a relationship of any kind. Yeah, laugh all you want, yeah. It's just, I don't know, like I think maybe it was a cathartic thing for him. He was exploring the idea. But the real question is, how does wife take it when she heard that? That's the real question. I'm not super up to date on J. Cole. I don't even know if the dude's still married. He might be. I don't know. I do know there was a picture floating around on the internet of him just recently wearing like some $400 sandals. Like we're talking about like Max Jesus sandals. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I definitely get the whole attractive thing. Like, there's not a doubt in my mind that I'm gonna find other people attractive even within my marriage. And Paige, don't kill me for that. But
poor dude, it's all fine. Just kill him. Shout out.
Shout out to my girl for killing me.
Shout out to Sydney. Don't kill me either.
Hold on, I gotta switch to your mic. I don't know if they heard that well enough.
Okay, I said shout out to Sydney. Please don't kill me either.
Oh no, man. So I think did you watch the music video?
No, I'm not. I don't really watch a whole lot of music videos. That is one thing. I'm much more a person like I don't really care about videos, even though like they tend to display the message of the music. I'm somebody, dude. I will literally just go in my room and sit for like 2 or 3 hours and just listen to music, not looking at anything. I might be like looking at the ceiling. That's literally what I do, which is I don't know, sociopathic probably. I don't know.
Yeah, that might be a tad sociopathic. No, I'm just kidding.
Fair enough.
No, so when I saw the video, I mean, of course, Kevin Hart was actually in it, and it seemed more of the message that they were trying to give off was like, yeah, I'm not perfect. I did something terrible, but like y'all won't let me move on. You won't let me do better. You won't let me keep going and like redeem myself. But I don't know. I just never. But then again, I don't know. Cole knows him. There's a reason that he decided to make that whole song, and I still like. Again, it's a great song. I love it. I don't know. Can you? But is like I've seen like Logan Paul and like Joe Rogan and Alex Jones. All they kind of go on this like they go on this apology tour, but they hate going on the apology tour because no one ever lets them get off it. And that might have been the message, but at the same time, like you did something to that wife. You don't you cheat on your wife. You don't necessarily need to go on an apology tour to the rest of the world, but you're pretty much gonna need to with your wife. And maybe he is. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's like y'all stay out of my business. This is me and my wife. We're handling this. But this isn't your deal. Like stay out Hollywood, stay out culture, whatever. What do you think?
So that kind of brings up another issue. Is like. I mean, because you know that there are relationships that exist out there that are polyamorous, meaning like it's multiple partners that engage with one another. I've worked with plenty of people. I have friends who are polyamorous, and like that. And I don't know if J. Cole is polyamorous. He may be monogamous. I don't know, but I think that that's a quick solution for a lot of people. I don't necessarily agree with it, or like understand it, just because that's not something that I would want. But I think that may be an answer for a lot of people. It's like we find a lot of different people attractive and everything, maybe developing multiple relationships, multiple bonds. So there's that interrelational, personal relationships. Even though that was a horrible way to say that. Between multiple people, maybe that like builds up sexual tension or just the sexual atmosphere of the relationship in and of itself. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot to be said about that, but it sounds like from what you're saying, they're not polyamorous. So that monogamous union, obviously J. Cole disrespected or defiled that. But I do agree, people should leave them alone. Like it is between them. But that's also kind of the curse of fame, is it becomes everybody's business. So.
Right, and I don't know if it necessarily Cole did anything, but I know he was just kind of like. I know Kevin Hart did, and he was just kind of standing by Kevin Hart and saying, like, trying to give him a voice that Kevin Hart couldn't really give at the time because he was looked down upon so much. And then polyamorous, that's a crazy topic. That goes way beyond music, but I mean, we could hit it for a second. Let's hit it. So you've been cheated on in the past. And
okay, cool, Ryan. Let's just go ahead and just
I have two now at this point. All right, so we're good.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, no, you're good.
We have equal issues there. Not sure. Yours was pretty bad, but she was pretty bad to you. But with that on your mind, and I know
shout out to her real quick. I hope life's going well for you. Like legitimately, no hatred.
All right, good wishes towards the exes. Not really mine. I can't get to that point. So, on that,
are you trying to like form your thoughts?
I'm trying to form my thoughts, but our roommate's over here doing an eagle across the living room. It's hilarious.
No, you guys don't understand. This is a 6'6" Asian man just flying around our living room. It's wild. It's so crazy.
Yeah. Oh, well, anyways, on that note, dude. All right. So back to polyamorous relationship. So you've been hurt. I mean, dude, I can't even focus now. What the heck? I can't get this image out of my head. All right. So, and I just saw it out of the corner of my eye. All right. Polyamorous relationship. Do you think you could do that?
Oh. Okay. So actually, it's funny. It's funny that you mentioned that. because I've definitely had that.
Is this a dangerous topic?
No. Because it's, I mean, the that form of relationship has been presented to me before in the shape of like dating other people, but this being like your primary relationship. I couldn't do it, simply because like if I'm gonna get in a relationship with somebody, especially one that I'm looking towards marriage or something, I want to invest all my time and emotions into that one person. And I'm gonna be honest, y'all. Y'all suck. People suck. I just can't handle it. Like, it's just too messy, man. Like, honestly, again, I'm not gonna sit here and condemn people who do it. It's just like I don't get how y'all do it, man. Like, y'all must have the most unselfish or like just the most laid back hearts because I can't do it, man. I just like it's like it irritates me even when like guys will message my girlfriend and like guys that maybe she's dated or guys that used to like her like, hey, how you doing? I'm not like mad or anything about it. It's just like, dude, really? It's like, come on, you had your you obviously had a chance at one time, but that time has passed. Like, come on. So yeah, okay, so one music discussion really. This is the thing about music though, is it brings about multiple ideas and it kind of makes you think, which is why I love music. I absolutely adore and am in love with music.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean. Again, that's why I brought up Kevin's Heart because it gets you to think, like, and it gets you to feel too. That's the other thing. Like, I listened to that song, I was like, man, and you see the music video, and like that dude's going through it, and then you think, wow, his wife's going through it too. Like that whole family. But imagine everyone knowing you're one biggest screw up, everyone in the world, and they're on you about it.
True.
Anyways. So music obviously reveals a lot of things, and which sure. that brings me to a point. So I see a lot on like your Instagram. You'll post song lyrics and then you'll kind of like expound upon them with some poetry, and you might not exactly be talking about them, but you say a lot of deep things. And I'm wondering, does that come from the music?
So actually what's interesting is, I don't know if any of the people listening follow my Instagram. You're more than welcome. My name's at son_of_Cthulhu. I'm more than happy to take the followers and stuff. I think it's cool. So what's funny is a lot of people actually assume that the stuff I post is lyrics that I hear, and it's not. All the stuff that I post in terms of like writings with pictures, all of those are my original writings. I've been influenced for sure, but all those are mine. Those are not song lyrics. I don't quote anybody else, because if I were to quote somebody else, I'd give them representation and credit like I do with the pictures that I find or drawings that I find. I would say, yeah, music definitely causes me to think. And people will find with a lot of my writings it has to do with religious schools of thought, especially with me being a Christian and everything. I explore the idea of other routes, maybe other possibilities of what goes on after you die. Basically, is there an obstruction of free will? Like, why would God get mad at us if we have free will? Which is actually not an original thought. It's actually from Dostoevsky. So, again, I'm definitely influenced by music, but once we touch on my albums, I actually have 2 albums for 2018. I'll explain them a little bit, and you'll see maybe why I focus more on religious topics with my writing. So,
okay, that sounds cool. I had something that I was just about to say, and it's gone. I need to get closer to my mic here.
Yes, you do. Because I'm like.
I see yours. Yeah, you're like.
Absolutely eating.
Over here destroying it.
Yes, sir.
Freaking cookie. Oh, there we go. I just angled it better. Turn it up. Let's get this bread. All right. So yeah, that was my favorite album in 2018. I haven't seen anything in 2019 that actually makes me happy. There's only like one album that I actually enjoyed, but it still wasn't like the whole thing wasn't that great. And we kind of talked about it before, so I'm not going to mention it now. But
fair enough.
We'll go ahead and move. So what was your favorite album of 2018 and why?
Gosh, so I actually have 2 favorite albums of 2018. My 2 favorite albums of 2018 were Ordinary Corrupt Human Love by Deaf Heaven, and then I Loved You at Your Darkest by Behemoth. Both are a subsection of death metal. with Death Heaven be like more an atmospheric black slash death metal fit group, and then Behemoth, which they're pretty popular. I'm sure some people probably know who they are. They're a black death metal group. So what the Death Heaven album expands upon is more so the understandings of love and the shortcomings of human beings. With their album Honeycomb, that's the most popular song off the album. They just really focus on kind of like the relationships between people, how they're complicated and stuff like that. So yeah, here, give me a second, guys. I got my screen a little too close. Sorry, hold on. And then so actually this next album, The Behemoth That Loved You at Your Darkest, this is actually what jumpstarts a lot of religious thought for me. So first of all, Behemoth is not a Christian band. They are actually opposed to Christianity, but not in the sense that like they're like, you know, kill the Christians or anything like that. It's not like that. It's more so along the lines of they just critique it and they want to like talk about how it may be corrupt or something like that. And this album, I'd have to say my favorite song off of Behemoth is Bartzabel, Bartzabel obviously is a demon name. But there's actually a music video, even though I don't watch that much, of Bartzabel, and it's the singer Adam D. Nurgle and the other band members. They're dressed in like what looks like a Pope attire, but it's like obviously black. It's the exact opposite of what the Pope would wear. And with that, the actual music video depicts what looks like a cardinal almost going up into a top room, like in an attic. And there are three women. One has a cross necklace on. One has an Islamic moon, and then the other one has a Davidic star. And they're all sacrificed. So it's more so. I think what the message is being displayed there is that maybe religion in and of itself, not particularly Christianity, oppresses women. And they kind of have to sacrifice themselves, if that's physically, sexually, mentally, to whatever religion they're going to. And that doesn't necessarily mean, I do want to reiterate at this point that I necessarily agree with everything that they're being said. I just think that listening to different ideas that provoke certain schools of thought is good for developing yourself as a character and as a person. So,
Yeah, I totally agree. I always find this interesting about you, and I think a lot of people do, but they don't understand it. And I've been trying to, I mean, even when it comes to the music that I like, the hip hop industry, or many of the movies we watch, or anything in particular that has to do with culture.
Point is, Ryan and I do a lot of stuff together.
Yeah, me and Sean do a lot together. So I realize a lot of people come to us with this question, and I think I'm finally putting it together, but I want to see what you think about it. So it seems like, from, I don't know, my perspective is that things like this can be raw, it can be dirty, it can be, not the most holy thing, but a good thing. And a good thing because, one, it may not be speaking the holy gospel, it may not be holy itself, but it's pointing to a reality where hope is needed, and with that hope, the gospel is alive. And that's where the gospel is able to be spread. It kind of speaks a reality to both like the rotten core of humanity and the hope that we need something better. And with that, if something speaks a message, even if it does it in a way that like comes off as offensive or raw, and really dirty, sometimes that's, I mean, even the gospel can do that too in a sense. It would be very offensive and raw in order to bring out the truths that we really don't want to dig up. And I don't know. And to me, it seems like that's good. It's not necessarily holy. It probably won't be in the kingdom of heaven. But if it is, that's whatever. But like right now, it's a good thing. That doesn't mean that unholy things can't be good. I don't know. What do you think about that?
So this is actually something that I've dealt with long before I came to the college and everything. And it's because I've been involved in this type of culture and everything, and just even like religious critique since pretty much since I became a Christian around the time of 13, 14 years old. The thing is that I don't think people realize is that everything within it, and this is me being a theology student, and recognizing the sovereignty of God, realizing that things can be used to push people in a certain direction. And my thing is, to people who say that they only listen to Christian music or only want Christian artists or something like that, that's fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. If you want to do that, go for it. No problem. But I personally find that listening to things that I don't agree with challenges my school of thinking and actually pushes me to expand further and figure out more of an apology for what I believe and maybe figuring out how I coincide with one reality versus the reality that I hold, that worldview. And so I mean, a lot of the bands, especially because I'm more involved in the black metal too, which is a very northern European form of metal, deals with a lot of here's the best way to put it, atheistic Satanism, which is not that they worship Satan themselves, but rather worship themselves as the ultimate deity. And there's a lot of interesting lyrics to be found in that because there's a worship of creation rather than creator, but confusing the two and saying that creation is creator. So I find it very interesting, and I would encourage anybody to actively involve themselves and challenging their way of thinking, whether that's through music, through any type of art. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying it's not necessarily a bad thing to do. So,
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, and then it's never honestly like I didn't really even care to let hip hop or horror movies or any type of Hollywood actually to try to influence not influence but kind of give me a new perspective or a different perspective to kind of work through, think through, or give an apology to until like maybe like freshman year here or maybe like my junior or senior year in high school. But before all that, I mean, it still came through reading, and I was reading a lot of atheists, and I still do. And I think that's where, like, we're in church like twice a week. We're in small groups. We're having quiet times. We're having godly discussions with people. But there's moments where like engaging actively with the skeptics, I was able to take all the theology I was consistently learning through the week and from my friends and through my mentors, and then seeing stances against that, even conversations we would have in like my philosophy class, that just even in the classroom itself, and be able to form my theology even better out of that, because there's a lot of plot holes, man. Like, not gonna lie, like there's a lot of things that we'll teach in our theology classes, we'll teach in Sunday school, and then all of a sudden a skeptic pulls out a question and you're like, wow, I think my system just fell apart. And then you got to work through that, and essentially you rebuild your system by tweaking a few things, and not to man's philosophy, but making sure like faith and reason go together, and that your scripture can coincide with the rest of the reality that is God's reality, because all truth is God's truth. I don't know, that's just my thought there. Anyway.
yeah, that's true. And definitely art in and of itself says something about culture. And so I think that you can learn a lot about a culture by the way it expresses itself through art. And I'm not saying that's necessarily just music, but even in writing, in like paintings and drawings and stuff like that, because there's a message to be found in a lot of it. And I think that some of the art and things like that, they do offer good critiques of the Christian worldview, because I mean, I'm sure any person that's ever been a Christian struggles with doubt to an extent, because if you think about it in and of itself, it's a pretty wild belief. Like, honestly, like you literally believe that God became flesh, died, and came back. Like that's a pretty wild concept to grasp, and I don't even know if I fully grasp that. I believe it. I just don't know if I fully understand it, because I don't even know if I can fully understand it, truthfully.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get that. But at the same time, we don't want to try, and I know you know this, and I'm not saying that at all is what you were saying, but we also don't need to fall into defeatism. We're saying we can't never understand it either. You know what I mean?
Very true.
But anyways, all right.
That was pretty deep. Yeah, here we go. Woo!
Again, this is what happens when you get into music and albums, and but I know that's just a huge question. I know a lot of people like ask me about you, or they'll ask me about me, and whatever. And I've heard them ask you a lot, and Southeastern authorities have kind of judged you before because of your your shirts or your music.
Yeah, and the thing is with that too, I even get some looks just for my appearance. I just obviously I'm just mentioning it because it's a pretty big thing. I just recently, like, I'm completely clean shaven. I used to have a mustache and a goatee, and I have
Weird.
it is it's definitely strange, but it is what it is. I got a new job, so I had to do it. But the thing is too, like, I have long hair with an undercut. My hair is roughly down to my chest and stuff like that. And I have a nose ring and all that. And I do wear a lot of thanks. I do wear a lot of black and stuff like that. And I think that there's this maybe this stigmatism that, like, because I dress like in a dark manner and listen to dark music, that I myself am a dark person. I wouldn't necessarily equate myself with a like being like spiritually dark, because again, it's just a form of expression that I happen to enjoy and I relate with. Not and maybe it was because as a teenager I was an angry little moody teenager. I mean, maybe I'm 20 years old now. I don't really think I'm angry and moody anymore.
Still moody.
So yeah, yeah, I've definitely received a lot of questions and stuff, and people, for the most part, seem to be somewhat interested in how I view Christianity and how I view the world. And I think it's because in the culture that I'm set in, I'm more, and I'm not trying to like brag or anything, but I think I'm set more as an anomaly because there aren't a whole lot of people like me at Southeastern, truthfully.
That's truth. Yeah, there's definitely a mold, and a lot of people fit it. And then when you don't, but you're here, it's I don't know, man. It just sticks out. Like
Yeah.
it.
Actually, so quick shout out, real quick, since we're talking about music. I do want to share actually an album that really touched me, and it's gonna sound weird that it touched me because I'm gonna read off the track listing, and it's a really dumb track list. Well, not dumb, but it's definitely interesting. So a couple years back, I found this band called Witch Helm, and they're a form of metal called doom metal, which is very very slow and very very like the guitars are just distorted. It's like swamp. The way I describe it is swampy and muddy, just really really out there, and they have really harsh vocals. So they have an album called Jotun. I don't know what Jotun means. All I know is that's how you pronounce it. And shout out to Witch Helm. Y'all should go check them out. So here is the here is the track listing for Jotun. The first track is Jotun. The second one is Swamp Bitch. The third one is I Am parentheses Wolf, and then Witchcraft with a Y. And it's just like, I don't know what it is about this album, but it's just like whenever I listen to it, I'm just amazed at like how the atmosphere of it's so like dark and like, ugh. Like I don't know how else to describe it. It's just I really wanted to bring that up because I love Witch Helm. They took their stuff off Spotify last year, and I was really upset about that. But I bought all their stuff on Bandcamp. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that in, and I think that there's maybe a stigmatism too, obviously, of heavy metal, that all of it's dark and depressing. And it is for the most part, but I think you have to find the light in that. So
Yeah, that's a really heartfelt track list right there. um, dang.
I was about to say, you think that's bad? You should read the lyrics.
All right. So what about 2019?
Ooh, okay. So hold on. I actually need to go. Excuse me. I have to go through my library because that's really hard because there's actually been a lot of good music. Now, does it have to be an album or can it be like a single release too? That's what I'm wondering.
It can be either, honestly, because if I had anything for 2019, it'd just be single releases. So yeah, just go with that.
Ooh, dang. So I'm kind of like looking through what I have right now because, like I said, this is really tough for me because, well, I love music altogether. So give me a second. I'm going through. Okay, I know. Okay, I found it. I know what my favorite release of 2019 has been so far. My favorite release of 2019 so far has been "I Don't Want to Know You" by Nails. And it's just a 2-song EP, and it has Max Cavalera on the second track, which is he sings in the band. He used to sing in Sepultura, and currently he sings in Soulfly, which is probably one of my favorite death metal bands. But Nails, guys, I'm telling y'all, if y'all go listen to this, you're going to listen to it and think it's just a bunch of noise because it is the loudest, most disoriented grindcore I've ever heard, but it is so good. And the album cover is pretty cool. It's a zombie with half its face missing. It's like been blown off. So I think Ryan's looking it up currently, and I'm waiting to see what his reaction to it is. But yeah, so I'd say that's probably been mine of 2019 because it's pretty good, man. Honestly, So, what about you, Ryan?
So making sure I'm not like clicking off the mics here.
Fair enough.
No, I mean, my immediate reaction was like, why is this dude not on iTunes? I mean, this dude's on Deezer, but he's not on iTunes.
I don't even know what Deezer is.
What is Deezer?
It sounds like a derivative of D's nuts.
That's all it is, really. It's just they just stream these nuts, which is actually isn't that like a metal band too?
Yeah, D's Nuts is a hardcore band. They're actually not. Well, actually, no, I don't think they're that good, but they have a following. So whatever, dude.
Go these nuts. All right. I don't know, man. I have to listen to this later. The first reaction I see is like Nails I Don't Want to Know You official music video, and I don't know if this is like off the album or what, but it says nuclear blast in his mouth as like this like giant nuclear hole with a toxic sign on it.
Let me so first of all, Ryan, the Nuclear Blast, that's the record label they're signed to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Nuclear Blast Records, but Nails is insane. Their album that came out before this one, You Will Never Be One of Us, is actually, if you go into my Spotify, it is my third most played album of all time. So, yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, okay.
Crazy. Murder. All right.
God.
Okay. I just gotta do it, dude. I have to. All right. Well, I don't know. My biggest track. Let me look at my downloads because I played you some today while we were in our car ride to Zaxby's.
First of all, quick shout out to Dax. You actually got some pretty good music, man. I'm definitely not opposed to rap or hip hop. It's just not something I whoa, that was a weird word. Don't like really mix into a whole lot, but I do like Kendrick Lamar, I like J. Cole, and I don't like Dax. And I'm a huge fan of Kid Cudi and Kanye West. So.
Speaking of, did you see that they said they led a Easter worship service at Coachella?
Who?
Kanye, Chance the Rapper, and Kid Cudi.
Are they Christians?
Do you think Kanye's a Christian?
I'm fully convinced that this man's not even human at this point. So, like, I don't know what you want me to say. Literally on his most recent album, I think it's on the song No Mistakes. He talks about bipolar being his superpower. It's not a superpower. It sucks.
I mean, honestly, my ex's mom treated it like a superpower, but that's...
Shout out to our exes.
She destroyed lives with that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yeah, I think I would have to go with I'd have two top singles, and you're gonna judge me for one, but
Oh god, I swear if it's any Logan Paul stuff.
no, I swear to God, it's not Logan Paul. Sean. He did release a single the other day.
I don't care that he released a single. I think the man's trash. Don't talk to me.
It was called "Are You Going to Coachella?"
No, not if you're gonna be there. God, I wouldn't go there anyway. Nothing but a bunch of posers wearing Slayer t-shirts. Listen to some real music nerds.
It was pretty terrible. But anyways, so I'd have to go with Dax, My Last Words.
Fantastic song.
Yeah, so I played that earlier for Sean today. Thought it was pretty great. And then my other one, you're going to judge me, but you've never heard her either, though. So you might think she's hot. I don't know. Wait, never mind. You have a girlfriend. I can't be saying that on air. But that's not why I like the song, but it's an amazing song, but I figure you probably won't like the music. So
Just get on with the song, boy.
All right, her name is Erica Costello, and the song is Thoughts, Not Feelings.
What? Erica Costello, that's her name?
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm looking this up.
All right, so it's like thoughts, like
I'm looking
you
up
a
the
thought,
lyrics.
not like you have a thought.
I mean, I'm aware. I assumed. I'm not an idiot. Well, kind of.
I mean,
Okay.
you can have a thought.
Okay, here. I'm gonna read it. Okay, I'm gonna read some of the lyrics. You guys ready for this?
Oh God.
All right. Tell me. All right, so this is one of Ryan's singles for 2019, guys. Tell me why you're running from all those people who gave a F-word explicative. Why are you looking for something you know is gonna make you just self-destruct? Let's go on. Okay, here's the bridge. That's cool with me that you'd rather be alone with your thoughts, like hoes, not feelings. That's cool with me if that's what you need. Go be with your thoughts, not feelings. Yeah. Go be alone with your thoughts, not feelings. Go be with your thoughts, not feelings. Ryan.
I'm still depressed, Sean. I'm still dealing with this a year later. God,
Maybe we are just moody teenagers, even though in our 20s.
We're still moody teenagers.
Whatever, dude.
I swear that's the only people that watch her anyways. No, I just thought it's...
Shout out to our audience.
Love you guys. No, so the reason I like it so much, I mean, it is a great song, but it's been cool to see her transformation because I followed her for a while, and like, I don't know, I just get encouraged when other people start doing really well, I guess. I don't know why, but like a year ago she was releasing singles and she was having to do some like heavy auto-tune, like 24/7, and lyrically it was terrible, it wasn't clever. The music videos were pretty lame. I mean, I don't know. And then like she
get ruined.
but now she's not using autotune nowhere near as much. She went to this super cool writing camp and she vlogged about it. It's just a bunch of cool stuff, and I don't know, like lyrically it's a lot better and it's pretty clever and the music video is fantastic. So I don't think it's like, it's not like a top hitting song, honestly. I don't even think it has like 3,000 views. Let me take a look though, because
that just lets you know.
I mean, that doesn't define its success. I mean, we won't have that kind of views in a long time. But okay, she's at like 900,000 views right now, and it's only been up for 2 weeks, so that's not bad. But it's definitely not trending. Fair enough. But anyways, like again, it's not gonna be something huge, but it's just something I enjoyed, and I'm gonna be honest about it. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. So I'm continuing on with like some of our favorite artists. I do have to shout out one band that I have been like religiously listening to since I was, I bought their first album when I was 15, so I've been listening for 5 years. And they're actually a band that I found on Bandcamp. Their name is Cerebus, like the demon dog with the 3 heads. Their first album, Hallelujah, came out back in 2014. So yeah, I would have been almost 16. And fantastic album. Best song off that album is Seek, and the main focus of the album is like religious ideas and then like religious abuse as well. And then they also released an album in 2017 after being on a hiatus for almost 3 years called Chapter Black. And I'd probably say that my favorite song off this album has got to be, if it'll load for me real quick, I love the song names. So here, I want to read you the track listing, okay?
Ooh.
Cariolysis, Bleeding Planet, Hemorrhage of My Earth. I cut myself to bleed out the devil, but the deeper I dig, the closer I grow to him. Sacramento Silver Bullets. This one's my favorite. I want to exterminate all the sinners on this earth, so I will kill myself first. I lust over the angst portrayed through your varicose veins. Intact dilation and extraction. Progress from where I was, I am now regressing. Linfield, who I am hates who I have been. So favorite song, by the way, is I lust over the angst portrayed through your varicose veins. So yeah.
Okay, I gotta ask you something.
Okay, what's up?
All right, I don't think any other genres do this with their titles, but different type of metal will have like the longest title. It'll be like, I was riding a horse with your mom the other day and I saw a llama and I turned that thing into a lint noodle with a spaghetti razor. Like, and you're like, one, that's absurd, and then two, why is that like 2 sentences?
I don't really know why. So it's funny because like it's the ones that tend to have the longer titles are like doom metal and black metal, and this is actually a black and deathcore album. I'm not gonna sound here and be like some nerd about genres, be like, oh, well, this is progressive, but I don't know, dude. I think it's funny. I want to exterminate all the sinners on this earth, so I will kill myself first. I love it. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just saying, at least you know what you're getting when you listen to these songs. So, yeah.
All right. Now, this is a question I know I have to at least ask for Taylor.
Oh, God.
If not for everyone else.
Shout out Taylor. That's Ryan's sister. Shout out.
Taylor, I know she hasn't listened past 30 minutes on the last 2, so she may be gone, but
Fair enough.
I guess I need to still ask anyways. A lot of people back home think Asking Alexandria is like good metal.
Oh,
and so
God.
I want to know what's your input, and if they're not in metal, where the heck are they?
Okay, so first and foremost, I listened to them when I first got into heavy metal years ago. I'm talking about I was like 12 or 13 when I got into it. They're definitely metal. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that they're not metal, but they're more on the like metalcore side of things, and I'm not a huge fan of metalcore. Um, they probably the people back from where you're from, because we're both from hick parts of the state. They're probably like, oh, yeah, dude, Ask Alexandria is heavy. And again, you're kind of asking the wrong person because I listen to the heavier side of metal anyway. Like I'm gonna give you some subgenres right now: brutal death metal, black metal, slam metal, grindcore, doom metal, and then any type of death. You give me any type of death metal, oh yeah. Um, they're like I said, they're definitely metal. They definitely waver on the side of metalcore. And if you think that Asking Alexandria is the most brutal stuff out there, you may need to take warning to that Cerebus song and exterminate all the sinners, starting with yourself. So, yeah.
Wow. There we go. That's the question we've all been wondering. Wanting to have answered. Is Asking Alexandria actually a band?
Is it actually a band? You mean what?
Are they
What's
actually?
a band?
No, they're not. I'm just kidding. They're just
a
Satan worshippers.
Oh gosh! Shout out to black metal.
So I have friends that actually went to their concert, and then all of a sudden, and they thought they were a cool band and whatnot, and then all of a sudden, and these are Christians that went, and all of a sudden they're like, all right, let's pray to Satan, oh, hail Satan, and all that kind of stuff, and my friends like dipped.
So here's the thing you have to realize when it comes to heavy metal, because there's that affiliation with like metal satanic. It's satire more than anything. It's just like a way to get people like the shock value and everything. Because I mean, there are legitimately bands out there that are satanic, like Mayhem, Inquisition, Burzum, stuff like that. So my thing is like I've actually been to a show before where like they were like, yeah, hail Satan, and I was like, I'm just here for the music. I'm like, I'm not worshiping Satan. I'm good. I just want to hear what you got to say. And this wasn't even a band like I listened to. It was like an opener, and they were like, yeah, let's be edgy when we get up there. Satan. It's like, okay, guys, like we'll sell these T-shirts, yeah. So here's the thing for me is like, if you're a heavy metal band and you're opening for somebody and you're using Satan as a gimmick to get people to be like, oh look, I'm protesting God. It's like, dude, you're just telling me your music's trash because like you have to use a gimmick to get people to listen to you. Like, and again, if you're like legitimately a Satanist, I guess, at least you're staying true to what you believe. But like, come on.
Do you think there's any bands that are actually like the ones from Jennifer's Body, the movie? Did you ever watch that?
I did not. I'm not familiar with Jennifer's Body. What, you want to explain that to me?
I mean, essentially, what's her name? Here, yeah, I know her last name's Fox. She was in Transformers.
Oh, you're talking about Megan Fox.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
So she's the main character. And, like, I'm 99.9% sure that's right, and the one chance that I'm wrong, I'm probably wrong. But anyways, she plays the main character, and essentially she's kind of like hoeing around, got her tits out, and she goes to a concert with her like more conservative friend and whatnot, and these Satanists are kind of hitting on her. She's trying to get out there, and end up they like drag her to the woods and like sacrifice her to Satan, and then she becomes like a possessed dead person, and she starts killing people and eating their souls and all this stuff. Anyways, do you think there's bands out there that are out here like trying to sacrifice some girls?
I mean, look, I'm sure that there's probably, there's evil people everywhere. I'm sure there's probably people involved in some band somewhere that are just like, yeah, dude, let's kill people. I'd say for the most part, I don't think that's super common. At least I haven't heard anything about it. Again, a lot of this like whole, oh, hail Satan, and yeah, pentagrams and upside down crosses, a lot of it's just satire. Like, I don't think they actually believe what they're doing. It's just to get people involved. Because, like, I was an edgy 15-year-old at one point and was like, yeah, pentagrams. Like, I don't know. It's just my thing is, like, if you're using those as a gimmick, you're just telling me your music's trash. That's all you're telling me. So,
I don't know, man. Yeah, that's just pretty weird.
I think it's pretty funny.
Whatever. All right, so yeah, I don't know. And there's all different types of Satanists too. There's Satanists that just like do it for the satire. There's Satanists that just do it to be atheistic, and then there's actual people that worship Satan. Like, whatever. That's weird.
Yeah, well, and remember, there are forms. There are two major forms of Satanism, and there's theistic Satanism, which is known as the Anton LaVey, his form of Satanism, the guy who started the Church of Satan in California, that they literally believe Satan to be God, and that Yahweh is like the false God. Shout out to Sabrina, by the way, it's a good show on Netflix. And then also, the other form is atheistic Satanism, which is basically where you believe Satan embodies the human nature and personality. It's basically humanitarianism, but like to an extreme form. So.
Okay, well, cool stuff. I'm learning stuff I don't know today. Here we go.
Yes, sir.
I don't know, man. What else you got on your mind for tonight? You got anything?
Oh yeah, because we're rounding the 45-minute mark. Well, I mean, we focus more. I guess one thing that I would mention too. So, I just want to mention this because this album was also a big thing for me. So, when I was first getting into like much heavier music, when I was about 16, 17 years old, like getting into brutal death metal, I found this band called Embodied Torment, and they have an album called Liturgy of Ritual Execution. And I know that sounds highly morbid, but it's about medieval like ways to kill people, and it's pretty scarring because the lyrics are pretty gruesome. And I was like, and now I'm like, cool. So yeah, just shout out to Embodied Torment, man.
Man. Hey, turn your mic to the left just a little bit.
Oh, okay, yeah, we'll do.
It's all good.
Woo! There we go.
Your face or whatever. I don't know.
Yes, sir.
Oh, shout out to me. I just turned 22, like right now.
Oh yeah, happy birthday to Ryan, man. We're recording this on midnight on Thursday, so happy birthday to Ryan. Make sure that you like and subscribe for 420 times. Not anything to do with the marijuanas, but
If you can, create some fake Google accounts and subscribe to us.
Hashtag PewDiePie.
We need bots in our life.
So we've reached that point in the podcast where now we will do everybody's favorite segment. But this time, I think instead of doing celebrities, we should do musicians. Compare them to animals.
That's a great idea.
Okay.
I mean, we kind of did that before. Nah, it hasn't been posted, so we're good. All right, thank God for extra material.
I'm gonna look at metal musicians, and we're gonna make fun of them.
Speaking to your mic one more time. I've hit the built-in and I hope it ends.
Hello.
Okay, I'm pretty sure we're good. If not,
If
not, we at least got to that point.
Yes. So first and foremost, I do want to say that David Draymond, he reminds me of a squid. The singer for Disturbed. He just straight up looks like a squid. Like, I don't know why. He just like, if a squid
What's
was
his name?
David Draymond.
David Draymond. Y'all look this up too. We want you to be able to see this.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, like I said, he just like
We would put up a pic, but I'm already behind on editing.
he looks like what is it, Stevie Mandel or whatever, but that's not an animal, even though some people might think he is. But yeah, dude, like, nah, this man legitimately looks like a squid.
Look like Howie Mandel finally
Howie Mandel, that's his name.
Finally gave in to his germ life and just his fear of germs and was just like, you know what, I'm gonna embrace it and just live in the mud.
I mean, man, you gotta do what you gotta do. I will say this about David Draymond though: he married a WWE diva superstar, so he's got that going for him. He's got a son too. His name's Bear.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go in and look up some hip hop artists right now.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and check this out. Man, oh my gosh. I want somebody just rugged.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely rugged.
Okay, I think we should do two apiece. So you do yours, and I've got one more person, and then you do yours.
All right, man. Let's do Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne, bro. Go and pull him up. Yeah, and if y'all know who Lil Wayne is, do you exist? Are you? I mean, why are you here?
Yeah, of course. You sinner. Remember what
Sinner.
Sarah says, begin with yourself.
What a person. My gosh. First of all, he may have the whitest teeth I've ever seen, so I'm pretty sure they're fake.
Shout out to white teeth for being fake.
There you go. Let's be real. Nobody's got white teeth like this. And if you do your photo editing, shout out to me on my last Instagram pic. Let's go. If you can't roast yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Let's be real. All right. There's this one picture. He looks like really red. Look at this dude.
Oh, God, he looks like a lobster.
Exactly. He looks like a lobster that just took a whole lot of acid.
Just dropped a lot of acid. It's like, okay. Cool. So I actually have my next person. His name's Max Cavalera. I mentioned him earlier. He's the singer for the band Soulfly and a couple other ones. He started Sepultura. The man looks like a dingo. Like, if a dingo was a person, it'd be Max Cavalera. Because Max Cavalera, granted he's a fantastic musician, that's a dirty-looking man. I don't know if you want to look him up real quick, Max Cavalera. But he is a dirty-looking man. Yeah, he is Brazilian.
And you said a dingo?
Yeah, he looks like a dingo, yeah.
What is a dingo?
Like, you know the Australian pack dogs, the wild dogs?
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah, I told you, he looks just like it. Cause like he's not like
That's so weird.
He's not ugly. He's just like he just looks dirty. Shout out to Max Cavalera for looking dirty. Your music's still great. I am absolutely in love with your most recent album, and my favorite song by y'all was Under Rapture. So, yeah, all right, Ryan, do your last person, and then we will close out the podcast.
Okay, man. All right, Travis Scott, let's go for it, dude.
Yeah, that's right, Travis Scott. We're coming for you for doing a horrible Super Bowl show.
Sicko mode sucks. I'm just kidding.
Nathan's here with all the freaking auto-tune. All right, here we go.
I didn't actually watch it. How bad was it?
Dude, I mean, it was... I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, it was the worst thing I've ever seen. Nah, it was bad. It was like, because you could tell, obviously, he used a lot of auto-tune with his voice, and he was just, like, really out of time. I was like, dude, come on. Like, you're literally, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I could do it, but, like, you're paid to do this. Like, this is your job. Like, I don't go to Vans and try to sell, Converse. Like, what?
Yeah. Sorry, I switched mic there. I was about to jump in on that, man. I'm looking at this picture. Okay, and he's like slightly looking at the camera. He's got some dreads in his face, but he looks really high. But you know what he looks like? The pig from Barnyard.
I can absolutely see that. I just want you to think that what is it? Is it Kendall Kardashian? Is that her name? I'm pretty sure it is.
Dude, I don't know.
Kendall Kardashian. Hold on. No, no. It's Kylie. It's Kylie Kardashian, right?
Okay.
Well, anyway, imagine she looks at that. Every time they do the dirty, she looks at that. I'm just being honest.
I mean, everybody knows that your dirty face is pretty bad if you're a dude. But that's terrible.
Dude, speak for yourself. I like to think that mine's like beautiful. Whenever that happens, I just like to think it's beautiful. So,
Sean, next to
Ryan's about to roast me.
Next time you do that, just take a selfie.
Yes, sir. Will do. Absolutely.
All right, man.
Well,
do you want to go ahead and sign off for us?
Yeah,
We're about 53 minutes.
Well, guys, this has been the Just Two Dudes podcast, and what did we learn today? That music is awesome, it provokes ideas, and don't judge people based on their appearance. And apparently Travis Scott looks like the pig from Barnyard. Yeah, so Ryan, I think that closes out for today. So y'all have a great night. Happy birthday to Ryan. I'm going to bed.
Sounds good. Thanks again, guys, and we always love having you here, even though you're not really here.
Nerds.
Yeah. Thanks again for spending this time, and y'all have a good night.
Subscribe.
Subscribe.